Skeptics enjoy hurling stones at those who believe in the primacy of mind, both metaphorically and, when the opportunity arises, quite literally. If awareness shapes what we experience, they challenge, then why does a stone stay a stone regardless of your personal beliefs about it? It's a reasonable objection. Yet that stone only appears as such because your consciousness has learned to categorize it in that particular way. Before humanity emerged, there were no stones at all. There existed only a shapeless collection of dancing particles, completely indifferent to human concepts and names. Long before Antoine de Saint-Exupéry earned fame as an author, he served as a pilot in France's military aviation corps. On one particular mission, he received orders to transport mail across the treacherous route from France to South America, a flight that was extraordinarily perilous during that era. Through a series of unfortunate circumstances, his aircraft crashed in the vast Sahara Desert. He found himself marooned without water in one of Earth's most unforgiving environments. While Saint-Exupéry wandered across the endless sand dunes, he experienced what could only be called an extraordinary vision, an encounter that felt more dreamlike than real. A mysterious young boy, who seemed to belong to another realm entirely, came to him. This child discussed the essence of awareness and the significance of unseen realities. Saint-Exupéry would later reflect that this was indeed his encounter with a little prince, even though the tale remained unwritten and the character had not yet been born through his pen. During this otherworldly experience, Saint-Exupéry's mindset transformed from one of desperate survival against harsh conditions to something far more meaningful, a profound conversation with existence itself. He discovered a truth, viewing life not as a merciless trial, but as an enigmatic, beautiful puzzle. The following day, he spotted a Bedouin caravan, and this time it was more than just a mirage. Saint-Exupéry later understood that witnessing the caravan was itself an act of manifestation, a longing for life brought into being. If you're finding these consciousness concepts as mind-bending as I am, hit that like button and subscribe for more explorations into the nature of reality. Awareness doesn't require a physical brain to function. You witness it in how a sunflower turns toward light, in the way water carves valleys through solid rock. Even the simple act of a tree growing around an obstacle demonstrates a form of consciousness, an awareness of what needs to be navigated and overcome. Scientists have discovered that forests communicate through underground fungal networks, sharing resources and information across vast distances. This suggests that consciousness operates on levels we're only beginning to understand. Everything around us maintains constant awareness of its surroundings, constantly adapting and responding to environmental changes. Consider how your own body operates without your conscious control. Your heart beats, your cells regenerate, your immune system fights off threats. This biological intelligence operates far beyond the reach of your thinking mind, yet it demonstrates an exquisite awareness of what needs to happen moment by moment for life to continue. We must liberate ourselves from the restrictive belief that consciousness belongs exclusively to humans or exists only within our skulls. Modern physics has shown us that particles at the quantum level seem to know when they're being observed, changing their behavior accordingly. This phenomenon, known as the observer effect, suggests that consciousness and matter are far more intertwined than we previously imagined. The question isn't whether objects possess individual minds, but rather that all things, from tiny sand particles to towering peaks, participate in one enormous, unified field of awareness. That stone represents a pattern of thought. Reality itself is a pattern of thought. Your complete life experience consists of beliefs so deeply embedded that you've forgotten you originally chose them. Think about something as simple as the color red. What you experience as red exists nowhere in the physical world. It's purely a creation of consciousness. Light waves of certain frequencies hit your eyes, but the actual experience of redness is generated entirely within awareness itself. Our world isn't constructed from physical objects. Our world emerges from narratives, and narratives arise from how we perceive. When enough minds accept something as real, it becomes manifest. Countries, money systems, cultural practices, legal frameworks, all are mental creations made so concrete through shared agreement that we forget they aren't actually solid things. They are enchantments woven by consciousness. Consider the power of language itself. Words are simply vibrations in air or marks on paper, yet they can start wars, inspire love, create fear, or generate hope. The meaning doesn't exist in the sounds or symbols. It exists in the consciousness that interprets them. This demonstrates how consciousness doesn't just observe reality. It actively participates in creating the very meaning and significance of everything we experience. In Giordano Bruno's understanding of the cosmos, reality wasn't a fixed structure, but an immense, boundless, living intelligence. Bruno conceived the universe as essentially one vast thinking system, where ideas interacted to form what we experience. He was burned at the stake for these ideas, deemed too dangerous by those who preferred a mechanical, lifeless view of reality. Yet modern quantum physics has begun to validate many of Bruno's insights about the conscious nature of the universe. Consciousness isn't some invisible witness floating above reality. It's the very substance from which reality is made. Instead of generating reality through separate experiences, consciousness both creates and gets created simultaneously. Your awareness harmonizes with other conscious beings around you, functioning like connection points in a universal network of thought. The cosmos continuously reshapes itself according to the mental conditions and ideas of its aware inhabitants, forming not just individual realities, but our shared worlds. Recent research in quantum biology has revealed that consciousness might operate through quantum processes within our neural microtubules, structures so small they exist at the border between classical and quantum physics. This suggests that our consciousness literally operates in the quantum realm, where observation creates reality rather than simply discovering it. This isn't mysticism. It's cutting-edge science beginning to catch up with ancient wisdom. Thomas Nagel, in his influential piece «What is it like to be a bat?», зрение предлагает, что сознание содержит личную димензию, переживание, или просто говоря, что это чувствуется, когда человек осознает. Nagel argued that human understanding has built-in limits when it comes to consciousness. Even when we grasp the brain's physical mechanisms, we cannot truly know the inner experience of other beings like bats, because consciousness cannot be reduced to measurable facts. Consciousness makes the relationship between mind and body truly mysterious. It represents the universe's most confounding characteristic. Felt experience encompasses the personal sensation of things, how fruit tastes, how birdsong sounds, how the sky appears blue. These form the experiential landscape generated by consciousness. What we frequently overlook is that these aren't objects existing outside us, but rather experiences generated within awareness itself. Consciousness processes and translates sensory information to create a unified reality. We aren't passive witnesses. We actively participate in building our experience of existence. I'm curious, have you ever had a moment where you realized you were creating your reality rather than just observing it? Drop your experience in the comments below. The reality you encounter isn't an objective mirror of the world. It gets shaped by awareness. Thus, consciousness serves as reality's architect, not simply its witness. Consider Joan of Arc, a teenage girl who claimed to receive messages from heavenly beings, persuaded a battle-hardened army to follow her into war. The real question isn't whether those voices existed. It's whether reality could have possibly resisted their influence. If belief powers reality, then Joan didn't imagine things. She brought them into being. History is filled with similar examples of individuals whose consciousness was so focused and unwavering that reality seemed to bend around their vision. Think of inventors like Tesla, who claimed to see his inventions fully formed in his mind before building them. Or visionaries like Martin Luther King Jr., whose dream became so powerful it shifted the consciousness of an entire nation. These weren't mere coincidences. They demonstrate the creative power of focused consciousness. Even in your own life, you've likely experienced moments when your intense focus or belief seemed to materialize circumstances that supported your vision. Athletes call it the zone, artists call it flow, and mystics call it manifestation. But they're all describing the same phenomenon: consciousness actively shaping reality through focused attention and intention. To truly understand consciousness deeply, rather than viewing it as separate from the physical universe, we should recognize it as completely woven into reality itself. Brain researcher Karl Pribram spent years developing a theory that the mind operates like a hologram. Consider how holograms work. Each fragment contains the complete picture. Similarly, every section of your brain contains a pattern of the entire cosmos. Consciousness isn't trapped in one brain location. It's spread throughout, all-encompassing, and constantly engaging with the broader reality surrounding you. This holographic model helps explain phenomena that traditional neuroscience struggles with. How can memories persist even when brain tissue is damaged? How do people sometimes access information they've never learned? How can consciousness continue to function during near-death experiences when brain activity is minimal? The holographic model suggests that consciousness isn't produced by the brain, but rather accessed through it, like a radio tuning into different frequencies. Ancient wisdom traditions have long taught that consciousness is fundamental to the universe, not emergent from matter. The Sanskrit term chit refers to pure consciousness as one of the three fundamental aspects of existence, alongside being and bliss. This isn't primitive thinking. It's a sophisticated understanding that we're only now beginning to appreciate through modern science. This reveals that the world isn't something external waiting for your perception. The universe and your awareness exist in an endless dance, each continuously influencing and transforming the other. When you look at a star, you're not just receiving light that traveled millions of years to reach you. You're participating in a conscious interaction that somehow connects your awareness with that distant cosmic body. The act of observation creates a bridge across space and time. No separate self exists within the world, and no isolated consciousness exists within the world either. The self is a narrative, and consciousness provides the stage where it unfolds. What we call you is simply an experience emerging within this enormous interconnected field of awareness. And what we call consciousness is simply the background against which all experiences appear. Essentially, there exists no separate self and no contained consciousness. Modern neuroscience has discovered that the sense of being a separate self is actually constructed by specific brain regions. When these areas are disrupted through meditation, psychedelics, or certain types of brain injury, people often report experiencing unity consciousness, a direct perception that the boundaries between self and world are illusions. This isn't a pathological state. Many describe it as the most real and meaningful experience of their lives. Ancient thinkers have explored the possibility that self and consciousness aren't individual, distinct things. The Vedic understanding in Hindu philosophy suggests that the individual self, or Atman, is fundamentally the same as Brahman, the universal consciousness that flows through everything. No individual self exists apart from this greater consciousness. It's an illusion, a reflection of the whole appearing as separate. In the Talmud, the sacred Jewish teachings, Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi teaches that each person should understand themselves as though the entire universe was brought into existence for them alone. The world was brought into being for you, he declares. This presents a fascinating, seemingly contradictory idea. It implies that the entire cosmos, with all its intricacy and immensity, exists for the sake of one person's consciousness. This isn't about selfishness, but rather highlights the intimate connection each individual shares with existence. Many who suddenly or dramatically experience profound spiritual awakening describe a disturbing realization. They exist alone in the world. Not in an ordinary social way, but in a manner suggesting that their consciousness represents the only thing they can be certain of. Mystics and thinkers throughout time have approached this understanding like drawn to a flame. They have all encountered this haunting yet freeing recognition that the world, in a mysterious way, is themselves. What patterns or beliefs are you ready to let go of to see reality more clearly? Share your insights below. Your breakthrough might inspire someone else's awakening. When someone strips away the layers of learned conditioning, the truth emerges. No external reality exists independent of perception. This explains why many who awaken describe feeling completely alone, not in sadness, but in recognizing that there is no separate other, only consciousness dreaming itself into various forms. The world was brought into being for you, yet you are merely dust and ashes. This paradox lies at the heart of human existence. We are both tiny specks of matter in the vast cosmos and simultaneously the center of reality from our own perspective. A mystical understanding suggests that reality itself gets projected through each observer's consciousness, meaning the world literally exists for you, while also existing for everyone else. Before you even considered watching this video, reality was already orchestrating itself, not in the suspicious, secretive way of hidden powers plotting in dark rooms, but in the far more profound, cosmic sense, a magnificent illusion organizing itself around your awareness. So does this represent good news or troubling news? The master storyteller Shakespeare, who might have been more sorcerer than playwright, gave us Hamlet reflecting, "There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so." This perfectly captures how consciousness shapes reality. That painful breakup or that career setback are nothing more than interpretations created and recreated by your mind's brush. But here's where it gets truly fascinating. Once you recognize that consciousness creates reality, you gain tremendous power to reshape your experience. The same mental processes that create suffering can be redirected to create joy, abundance, and meaning. This isn't positive thinking or wishful fantasy. It's understanding the fundamental mechanics of how reality operates and learning to work with them consciously. The ancient Hermetic principle, as above, so below, points to this same truth. The patterns of consciousness that operate in your individual awareness are the same patterns that operate throughout the cosmos. By changing your internal reality, you literally change the external world, not through force or manipulation, but through alignment with the creative principles that govern existence itself. Consider how breakthrough scientific discoveries often come through sudden insights or dreams rather than logical reasoning. Kekulé discovered the structure of benzene through a dream of a snake eating its own tail. Einstein's theory of relativity came through thought experiments and intuitive leaps. These weren't accidents. They demonstrate how consciousness can access information and solutions beyond the limitations of ordinary thinking. Through profound states of awareness and altered consciousness, we might enter these alternate realms and deliberately shift between different timelines or dimensions of existence. This world resembles a hallway leading to the world that's coming, a transitional space where one develops their soul before entering the true reality. This matches countless mystical traditions that suggest physical reality serves merely as a training ground for consciousness, an initiation process rather than a final destination. The concept of multiple dimensions isn't just spiritual speculation. Quantum physics has revealed that reality operates on multiple levels simultaneously. What we experience as solid, three-dimensional reality might be just one layer of a far more complex, multi-dimensional structure. String theory suggests the existence of at least 11 dimensions, most of which remain invisible to our ordinary perception. Indigenous shamanic traditions have long taught techniques for shifting between different levels of reality. Through practices like drumming, fasting, or plant medicines, shamans access alternate states of consciousness where they can perceive and interact with different dimensional realities. Modern research into psychedelics is beginning to validate these ancient claims, showing that consciousness can indeed access realms of experience that transcend ordinary physical reality. What's remarkable is that these alternate states often provide practical information and healing that can be applied in ordinary reality. This suggests that consciousness isn't confined to the physical brain, but can access a broader spectrum of information and experience when the usual filters of perception are altered or removed. Consciousness doesn't terminate with physical death. This world is simply a doorway, a preparation phase. But if reality is consciousness-based, what is this coming world? The Kabbalists describe Olam Haba, the world to come, not as a far-off afterlife, but as a way of seeing. The more someone aligns with truth, the more the next world becomes visible right here. The world to come isn't a different place, but a deeper way of seeing this one. Consider sharing this video with someone who's questioning the nature of reality. When you share these consciousness concepts, you're not just spreading information, you're creating ripples of awakening that expand collective awareness and accelerate everyone's understanding of these profound truths. Consciousness is the golden thread weaving through everything. The hallway, the world to come, the illusion of separation, and the revelation of what was always present. "Show me your original face before your parents were born," asks the ancient riddle. And what is this original face if not consciousness itself? Understanding that you are both the observer and the observed takes this realization even deeper. You're not just witnessing reality. You're the very fabric from which all observations emerge, creating an infinite loop of awareness recognizing itself.